I say no Nigeria. I say no Nigeria. Nenu wa ndi bobumboro ku Nigeria. Ewi bobani o mi botete nenola. Kaijobo kani mbechi akejiro. Wabuni nelwanya. Susukusia India usa kusia madi Guefi mahaturu Ohokoko India roba guwa Kwa madi kwa mano Kukwa mala guofe wedu Agusi zandi bobu mado Asina ndi bobu minority Kidizi webu jalia Nigeria kidizi webu jalia Abubundi bona tana na hiji Rikazina Hindi bobu mbala ku Nigeria Hindi bobu mbala ku Nigeria Kimaliwe njikuwa Kimaliwe njikuwa.
Good day, my people. Good day to all. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. It depends where you are watching from. Welcome to Mirror African Television. Today in our midst, as you can see, is our brother, the barrister himself, Barrister EMEKA, is back on air.
Thank
Barrister,
you.
please welcome back to our show.
Thank you very much. I would say I have actually missed you a long time. We've not come on air this way. I'm glad that we are back on air. Thank you very much. And I believe that this time around we'll be stronger and we'll have more insight into what we are doing. Thank you very much. And all of you who have gathered to listen to us, I encourage you to keep listening. And I also pray that God will bless us as we listen and do the right thing. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Barrister. Fellow Biafrans and fellow and lovers of Mirror African Television, I'm thanking you once again for bringing out this time to join us on this special day of 18th November, which is a very powerful day in Biafra land. Barrister, men
Yes.
looking at what is happening today. Today is like a D-Day in Biafra land.
Yeah.
You know, most of us, there are those who supported the election and there are those who supported election. What do you think that will come out today? Is there going to be any result?
Yeah, we have said it before that if you don't want to vote, that is your right not to vote. A person who has a right also has a right to lose the right. If you have a right over a thing, you also have the right to lose that thing, to forfeit it or give it away. So to vote is your right. You also have right to refuse to vote. Boycotting is your right. You have the right to boycott election. The issue is this: what do you gain by boycotting election? If you boycott election, that means you have voted for your opponent. Your opponent will now win unopposed. That's what boycott means. When you boycott the election, your opponent will win unopposed. So what do you gain by boycotting the election? That is the question you ask yourself. So those who want to boycott the election, you can boycott the election. Those who want to vote, you can vote. That is it.
Okay. Let me ask you, let me chip in this question, Barrister.
Yes, yes.
As we are suffering
Yes.
upon that we voted before,
Yes. Yes.
as we are facing hardship upon that we participated in the election of Nigeria, which time do you think we have the best opportunity to punish our elites that are not even focusing on the necessity of their citizens?
Now, you see, the problem is we, the Biafrans, the Biafran activists. That's the problem. Now, when you saw the Biafran activists on the street protesting, you estimate their number. They are in millions, right?
Yes.
Those who were protesting, they were in millions, all right? Now, assuming that these millions decided, okay, we're going to take over one state house, Anambra, for instance. These millions of Biafran protesters just bring out one credible candidate among them, among the Biafran activists, and said, this is the person we want to put in Anambra government house to become Biafra governor. Do you think the millions of people cannot install that man in the government house as the governor?
The problem is this: even though you install that person, our people believe that the influence of the central government, the power in central government, will still subdue and disarm that our own person we are pushing in.
The problem is not, the problem is the person that's thinking this way you are thinking. That is the person that has a problem.
Okay.
Yes, the person that's thinking this way you are thinking, that's the person that has a problem. I have asked you this question now. The multitude of people who came to protest on the street for Biafra, who we saw, there were millions, millions and millions. Now, if one of them or their leader say, okay, I am going to take over Anambra State, and all the Biafran activists will now be voted into power as members of the House of Assembly, then Biafra will take over Anambra State. Tell me, if a core Biafra decides to take over Anambra State, and now you are telling me the power from central government, listen, the Constitution already has powers vested in the state. The Constitution is clear. Abuja cannot come to the state to tell you what will happen in the state. There is division of power, devolution of power in the Constitution. There is concurrent list. There is exclusive list, which is exclusive to the federal. But there is concurrent list, which the state has power to implement on. So this thing you give me excuse that the powers in Abuja cannot allow you to govern Anambra, that is stupid. That's foolish argument. Yes. I remember one what happened in Anambra some time ago when an elected governor was being manipulated from Abuja, and they were asking him to bring the Anambra money to Abuja to share with his godfathers, and he refused. They abducted him. They kidnapped him. Even though his election was fraudulent in the first place, those who put him there put him in order to embezzle Anambra money. But he entered there and refused to play ball, refused to give them the money. They now kidnapped him. But he said, no, this is Anambra money. I will not share it. Do you remember what I'm saying?
Yes.
The man said, of course, we know that the man was rigged into the place. He said, no, I will not share this money. It's the Anambra money. Then those Abuja contractors and power godfathers arranged and kidnapped him. But eventually, he was released. Now, when he won, those people turned around and said, after all, you didn't really win. It was just we rigged you in. And then they went to court, and that was how he was removed. Okay. And then next governor, Peter Obi, now came in. But the principle is this. The man, even though he was rigged into power, refused to share Anambra money and said, no, this money belongs to Anambra State, and therefore I will not share it with Abuja people.
Man, listening to your argument, you mentioned something. The oligarchs made it clear that they are the one that ringed him into power.
Yes, yes, they rigged him in.
And to show him that they are still the owner of the system, they used judicial system to kick him out. Then why do you believe that if the Biafran people stand up today and choose one person and back that person up, that Nigeria will not use something rigging and whatever to kick him out and still install the person they want?
Okay, fine. What we preach in Biafran movement is that you vote and you ensure that your vote counts. You vote and stop rigging. That is, do you know if all the Biafrans decide that this is the person we want to be governor of Anambra State, all of them will vote that person and make sure it is not rigged.
Yeah,
you understand?
But
yes,
Barrister, you are the one saying that make sure that it's not rigged. They
yes.
make sure, for example now, Anambra State is voting today. Let's assume that a Biafran person is there. And the people in that room counting those things are just live on Facebook videoing the count.
No,
I just want to
also be there.
I just want to give an example.
Will also be there in the counting room.
That's what I mean. The Biafran activists are there live with their mobile phone, filming the counting.
Yes.
Live, not that after made, live on air.
Yes. Yes.
And after everything.
Yes.
You still know that it's one person would still pop up, the central government, to tell you there were misconduct in that place. And they will face, the last word will remain on the justice of Nigeria, which is not even right and independent.
You are not making sense in what
I'm trying to say that Nigeria that doesn't want Biafrans to stand will still use their judicial system to press them out.
It's not true. It's not true. Listen, I have told you what happened. Okay, the example I used, the godfathers of that man who refused to play ball, who refused to give them bribe, turned around against him and said, after all, we rigged you in. You didn't actually win. Fine. And then the other person who won, that's from Abga, went to court and defeated him. And that's why Anambra State election now holds before other people's governorship election. Because when he was sworn in eventually, it fell out of sync with the normal 4-year rule. Okay. So that now that Anambra governorship election is 2017. By 2019, when others will vote, Anambra will not until 2021. That is 4 years after. 4 years up from now. So that's actually what made this timetable to shift. Anambra will always have their own governorship election first because of what happened that time. So, but to show you that the judiciary stood firm on truth and justice and delivered and say, yes, it is Peter Obi that won. And then he was not sworn in after Ngige was removed. Fine, but what I was trying to tell you is that the governor then, who was rigged in, said he will serve Anambra State. and refused to share the money, refused to give the money to the political godfathers in Abuja. That is the principle I'm trying to bring out.
Okay.
Somebody says, no, I am elected to vote, to work for Anambra State. Therefore, the money belongs to the public. I will not embezzle it. I will not share this money. I will not give it to these political godfathers. This money is public money.
So what you want to sell out to our people now is this. This man obtained power by tricks upon having the spirit of his people in mind. Upon
yes, look, listen, not I'm not from Anambra State, but I have assessed the state sort of, and I think Anambra is doing very well. See the network of roads, see amenities, many things. If we have such in Abia State, we will not be complaining in Abia and Imo.
But barrister,
you know,
somebody in Anambra State videoed the areas where erosion have cut one village out of the mainland.
I agree. Anambra is not perfect. Imo State, erosion has taken up almost all the places in Imo State. Abia State, the same thing. So if someone who say, okay, if you say Anambra is good, let me go and take a photograph of one erosion site. That is stupidity. That is not balanced reporting. There are erosion sites all over Igbo land. Even in Imo State, the thing is swallowing people. Abia State is swallowing people. So yes, Anambra is not perfect, but if you check around, Anambra is better than so many other states. If we have 1/4 in Abia, 1/4 of what is in Anambra State, if we have it in Imo or Abia, we will not be complaining.
But barrister, it's quite noticed that everything you are seeing in Anambra State is being built by the individuals, not the government themselves.
No, I'm talking about what government is doing. I'm not talking about individual industries. Is it not the government that puts in place the facilities, the amenities, the infrastructures for business to thrive? If the government puts everything in place, good road networks, all the amenities, infrastructures in place, then business will definitely thrive.
Okay, let me come in, as you want to make us understand that Anambra is doing well more than the other Imo and Abia. If I may ask, do you know how much that Anambra gets from federal government as allocation?
I don't know how much, but do you know that Anambra is not yet benefiting from oil revenue? Is not yet listed as oil producing state.
But Anambra State has resources that the government are mining in their state. Even they are telling the people that they are mining salt. But it comes out now. Yeah, go ahead.
Now, all the states in the federation have mineral resources. All. I said all. The things that many people's eyes are upon oil and gas. But all the states in Nigeria have mineral resources. I mean, highly valuable mineral resources. Bauxite, tin ore, gold, copper, salt, so many things. But they have left them, and every person's eyes are upon oil.
Because the Constitution did not give them the room to manage those things. This little one we are mentioning.
I agree. Constitution says not Constitution, well, you say Constitution, but then it is the Minerals Act. The Minerals Act says all minerals belong to the federal government, and that's what we are kicking against. The Minerals Act says all minerals belong to the federal government. That is abominable law. It is evil law. But we are kicking against it.
Okay, but so, for example, now this mineral law, is it applicable only in the eastern region? Because
no, it is in the whole. All minerals in Nigeria belong to the federal government. All minerals belong. That is wrong. We don't. That law is wrong. Is bad, and it must be abrogated. We are kicking against it, but only a few voices, only few people are talking. That Mineral Act is very bad, and Petroleum Act also. Minerals Act and Petroleum Act, they are wrong, they're bad. they now vested all resources in the federal government. Then it's like we are begging the federal government. The oil or the minerals are in our land, and then we will now be begging the federal government. If you touch it, you have touched federal government property. You know, it is in Nigeria that the definition of land changed. You know, in land law, we say whoever owns land owns everything that is affixed to the land. Nigeria now changed it and said whoever owns land owns everything that's affixed to the land except minerals. That is the land law. You know, that's what we studied in land law.
Okay. But do you think that there is anything somebody can do or group of lawyers can do to get this law amended?
Yeah, it has to be. We have to fight it and change it. In fact, that's actually why we're talking about every region, govern yourselves and manage your resources.
Okay.
So if every region now governs itself and manages its resources, let me see how Nigeria will come to my own region to say the mineral belongs to them.
Okay, let me draw you back a little into Nigerian affairs. You remember the Operation Cobra Dance or the Operation Python Dance 2 and Python Dance 2 and Crocodile Smile?
Yes, I remember.
After all these killings of our people,
yeah,
after the killings of our youths due to one reason or the other,
yeah,
our leaders now invite the same president that authorized such a thing to take place and gave him a chieftaincy title. Are they promoting, thanking him for taking such a decision against their people, or they don't notice what happened? How do you see that?
I condemn that. Actually, they are insensitive. They are not listening to the voices of the people. And the same person who presided over the killing of their children, they now received him and honored him with chieftaincy titles. What will a common man think? So I do not support that thing, not because I don't like the president or I don't like such a conferment of title on him, but what will ordinary Igbo man think? Ordinary Biafran think? What is the ordinary? Can the ordinary person think? This man presided over the killing squad that killed our children, and now our royal fathers have now crowned him and made him a chief, or they called him Ochoha. That's the people's general of Ndibo, and something like that. That smacks of insensitivity, callousness. I do not support such title, not because he is President Buhari. No, I love President Buhari like any other president that has ruled Nigeria. But on principle, no, I don't accept such conferment of titles on him.
Okay, let me chip in another question. If at all, for example, you are one of the Ohanes and Igbos member parliament or the executives, and such a thing happened in Igbo land, and you are in position to say something, what would you like to chip into the governors of the political elites of the Eastern region?
Of course, I will say my mind. I will say my mind. We have the freedom of expression or freedom of conscience. I'll say my mind. Like I have said now, that the title conferred upon President Buhari by the royal fathers, I don't accept it. That's my opinion. But there are some people who will accept the title, who said, yeah, they like it. Let him be conferred with the title of Ojo Handibo, the people's general, the people's leader, the Igbo leader. Ojo Handibo is actually like the Igbo leader or the people's general, the Igbo leader, the Igbo hero. You know, that's what they are conferring on him. And I can't see how he became our hero. You know, well, those who confer the title on him, they may have their reasons, but for me, I don't believe such title is proper at this time. No, it is insensitive. They are not seeing our sufferings. They don't know how we are suffering. You know, he said that he's not this man who said those who did not vote for him, he cannot treat us equally. That those who voted 97% and 5% will not be treated equally, because we did not vote for him. Yes, we did not. Still, even if he comes out again, we shall not vote for him.
But Barrister, I will challenge you on this.
Yes.
If Buhari dare come out tomorrow to contest, there are local government that he got to conquer in Igbo land. True or false?
Well, like it is normal in every election, even though I said if he comes out, I will not vote for him. There are still some of my friends who may vote for him. It's people's choice. As I'm talking now that no, I don't want to vote for him, there are people who will vote for him.
From example,
if I come out for election now, there are people who will not vote for me, while some who will also vote for me. So that is personal choice.
Okay, let me draw you back again to what we discussed before. As what we are seeing now, both giving chieftaincy title and other political activities that is against the interests of the people of Eastern region, how do you think, and which way do you think that we can use to punish these politicians from these evil activities?
No, we are not planning to punish anybody. When you are talking about which way shall we use to punish these evil politicians, I'm not talking about, at least I'm not going for vengeance. I'm not trying to punish anybody. Whatever they have done, they have done. I want us to build afresh. I'm not going witch hunting. Whoever that has done anything, go find a way to punish him. No, what am I doing? No, I'm thinking of the way forward, not backward. The way forward. Not going to fight with people. No, I'm talking about the way forward. We must move forward.
But Barrister,
yeah.
You are living in an advanced world, likewise I. And we know that even though in UK, if politicians are misbehaving, going to the interests of European Union, forgetting the interests of Britain, there are consequences. I believe that we should also have consequences in the same thing in Biafra land, where our elites are not.
That's why I'm telling you that the thing is to move forward, forget the past. In other words, these politicians you are calling evil politicians, if you know that these politicians are evil, then remove them from being on the seat. You can remove them. For instance, assuming let me come again with the millions of protesters, millions. They said, we will vote out this man. This man is evil. We'll make sure he will not win again. Definitely he will not win. Because politics is game of numbers. But you don't want to vote, you boycotted the election, and the evil man now put himself there. And then you are complaining. Yes, you were at home eating offense and nkwobi. Then the evil man entered.
Yeah, but Barrister, because we doesn't have our own person to back up. There is
because you refuse to participate. From the time you started Biafran agitation in 1999, when Owazirike started it, if you had groomed some vibrant youths, groomed them in politics as Biafran politicians, by now we would have been ruling houses. By now we would have got at least 2 or 3 government houses that are Biafran government houses. Don't you understand? I don't know whether you don't understand this. A state governor has all the powers to rule within the state. In fact, to decide that his state should even be called Biafra within Nigeria. Understand? Within Nigeria. I'm not talking about pulling out yet. I'm not talking about secession yet. But govern yourself as Biafrans first. Turn your state the way you want Biafra to look like. You have power to do that. You will have it. The law says it's concurrent list and residual list, which you can use to turn your state into Biafra. We're not talking about seceding, not secession yet, but govern yourself as Biafra first. Anything, that dream you are talking about Biafra, that Biafra dream, now actualize it first. Show the whole world what Biafra looks like.
As you normally say, I do understand that you fully believe in securing Biafra under the Nigerian government. But do you think that the system of the government, the current Nigeria of today, will give you the room to actualize what we are preaching now?
Oh my God. Oh my God. I don't know.
Because you see
the Constitution.
Barrister, wait, you see the Cobra dance and crocodile, all those things. And do you think that if you are still stepping on a place where you will still give Biafra the right to have momentum in Eastern region, that they will still allow you to operate?
Okay, now listen. When the corporal dance or python dance, I remember I read something, the position they made in the court. They said that the accused person was training army called Biafran Secret Service and some other things. I remember that that issue came up some time ago. Some people said that after all, the Muslims, the Sharia law has Hizbah police, the Sharia police. Why can't the Biafrans also have Biafran police or Biafran civil secret service? Now, but they forgot that the Sharia police, the Hizbah police, was created under the law of the northern states. They passed the bill into law and created the Sharia police. So that the Sharia police you are seeing, the Hizbah police you are seeing, is legal because there is a state law backing it up. But this one, the form that Umar called Biafra police or Biafra secret service, which state law backed it up? That's what I'm telling you. If you have Biafran governor, you pass all the laws you want to pass within the state.
But how do you get Biafran governor?
Because you refuse to join. Because you said you refuse to join. You said it's evil.
Barrister.
Yes. Since 1999, you people started this thing, going round and round and round in circles, like people that are blind. I don't want to use that word, but Jesus Christ said, if the blind lead the blind, both will fall into the pit. Running round and round in circles since 1999 to now, that's almost 18 or 19 years. Running round and round and round, can't move forward. Each time you say you don't want to participate. 2006, Wazike told them not to participate in census. And for that reason, our region became the least in the census figure now. I was ashamed one day. I was in court. I was arguing over a case. It concerned, well, and the judge said, after all, the Southeast I'm talking about has the least population in Nigeria. And I was ashamed. It happened here in London, a case that came up, and we were arguing about it, and it related to somebody from Igbo land. And the judge made that comment that the Southeast I'm talking about is the least in population. Which document are they using to? Is it not the 2006 document?
Yes. Yes.
When Wazike said we should not be counted. And now that is the document the whole world is now using to assess us. And that is the document they are using to do allocation of resources.
Let me come in now, Barrister. Let me come in this way now. As you are still believing strongly in Biafran project phase 2, under achieving the Biafran affairs under the Nigerian legitimate government, how can you just sell this thing to us? Just sell it to us. Let's.
Okay. Okay, now listen. Nigeria, each time I talk, I say Nigeria has the best constitution in the world. People don't seem to understand what I'm saying. Nigeria has the best constitution in the world. In fact, I don't even want them to amend that constitution for now. You know why? The constitution itself said that Nigeria is a federation. All right?
Yes.
But the people ruling Nigeria are not respecting it as a federation. They made it unitary government, concentrating powers in Abuja, right?
Yes.
Good. Contrary to what the Constitution says. Constitution says it is a federation. Why the people ruling in Abuja say it is unitary government? So which one? Are we to blame the Constitution or the people that are operating it? The Constitution says it is a federation. And what is a federation? The federating units are autonomous. That is it. That's what is a federation. The federating units are autonomous. That is a federation. But those in Abuja don't want to obey the constitution itself. So each time I tell you the Nigerian constitution is very beautiful, you people don't understand. If they obey the constitution, then they will obey the federalism in the constitution.
But
okay, fine.
Okay, go
now
ahead.
there are three legislative lists. What we call legislative are the powers to make laws and govern yourselves. There is the exclusive list, which only the National Assembly can operate. Power to make law maybe regarding the currency, naira, and army, and some other things, federal things. Only the federal legislature can legislate on this. It's called exclusive list. Now there is concurrent list. Concurrent list, do you know, even like power supply, you can have your own NEPA in your own state. Your own power generation, you can have it. Some other things you can have at the state level. You are shipping all those waterways, or certain things you can do within your own region under the concurrent list. But the only thing is that you will not pass a law creating your own army or your own currency. Now, I have heard people talking about state police. Yes, we can get to that level of state police in the sense of security, state security organs. For instance, in 1998, I was in Abadan, and some of my clients at the shoe line in Ariaria Market were always complaining of what the mafia boys were doing. So one day, spontaneously, my clients, some of them are shoemakers and some are doing leather works. Suddenly, one day, they now rose up in a riot and started killing these children with machetes. Real killing. Ha. And you know, when they were killing and massacring these children, people were very happy, clapping, said, yes, yes, kill them, kill them. Aba people supported them. These my clients, some of these my clients were on the last shoe line. There's a shoe line called Bakassi line. It was from that they now got their name called Bakassi. It's actually a line. Like if you go to that market, you have Bakassi line, you have Eziafa line, you have Wande Dama line. There are many lines in the market. So those people were in that Bakassi line. They took their machete and started cutting the heads of these children. And that's how they now became known as Bakassi boys. Okay, now let's look at what happened. They were fighting crimes using unorthodox method of fighting crimes, and they were very effective. But one day, one member of House of Assembly visited me, Honorable Obioma Egbem, visited me. I think it was when Aba people wanted to do what we call infrastructural development levy. I now advise that, yes, these things are good. Let there be a bill. Let's pass a bill so that the government can control these things. Then I gave him some ideas. Eventually, the two things were done. The infrastructural development levy was enacted into a law. The Bakassi boys also were enacted into a law. They are called Abia State Vigilante something law. So now the government now backed up the Bakassi security outfit with law. In that case now, it is no longer illegal. It is like a state police or state, yes, like state police.
State vigilante.
Yeah, you can call it, because they were even armed. They were given arms. So they were armed by the state. So it became state police, backed by law. I remember that Anambra also copied that law and created Anambra Vigilante also, just like Bakassi. So in effect, we already have state police. This thing, this Fulani herdsmen are doing over Igbo land, is very easy. for all the states in Biafra land now to adopt the same law made in Abia State, the same Bakassi law that's called Abia Vigilante Services Law.
Yeah.
It is said all the states government can adopt that law now, pass the law in all the houses of assembly in the east, and then arm these youths. Now they go and protect the territory of the whole east.
We see.
If Fulani herdsmen come with their machete, well, Bakassi boys also have their machete.
Now,
and the thing is that
Barrister, you have activated
there is a
something.
law backing them up.
Barrister, you have activated something. This thing you are mentioning now have run away from people's brain.
Why should you run away from people's brain? We already have the law
that's what I mean.
establishing Bakassi boys.
I saw Bakassi in Abia State, but I didn't know there are laws that are backing them. By then.
Oh, you don't know?
Serious? Yeah, I didn't know.
It is a legitimate, it's a very lawful organization. Oh, it's backed up by law. So Bakassi is just like a state police. We can implement it in all parts of Biafra land.
But later, military came in and started going after them.
No. What I heard was that some politicians came in and started using them as private police for themselves to use it to score for scoring political gains against their opponents. Okay.
So now, Barrister, I have another thing to chip in. You mentioned that the Constitution of Nigeria is running as a federation.
Yes.
Constitution itself.
Yes.
And the people ruling Nigeria are ruling Nigeria as a
unitary system.
Unitary system.
Yes.
Do you think that the governors from the eastern region also know the right and the constitution of the country?
That is my worry, my brother. Some of these governors don't know anything. They don't even know that they have the right to even govern their own states like a federal unit. They don't know. That is the problem. Otherwise, if they know, they can pass this law. For instance, I have given you an example of Bakassi law, state police.
Yes.
Why can't they do the same thing? There are so many other things they can make law on to govern their territory as Biafrans and then build it like Biafra you want it to be.
Where I want to put hand is this. If the constitution of the federation, the constitution of the country is running or operating as a federal state.
Yes, as a federation, yes.
Why don't, if the central government is translating it in their own way, why don't the state governors operate under the same umbrella of federation, run their own affairs?
That's what I'm telling you. Our governors seem to be
all of them from Rivers, from Calabar to Anambra State to Delta State. All of them are doing the same thing. Do you want to tell me that all of them are stupid?
I don't know whether they understand the power they have. I don't know whether they understand the position they occupy. I was told that when Fulani herdsmen came to Anambra, Enugu, killing, that the governor started telephoning Abuja.
Enugu State.
Was telephoning Abuja and they kept him on hold.
Enugu.
He was it Enugu State?
Yeah, Anyim. Yeah.
That he was telling and he didn't even know that he is the chief security officer of the state. That's what the constitution says. He is the chief security officer of the state. And he's telephoning Abuja. These people, I don't know whether they even know the position they occupy.
No, Barrister, you are living in London. And you can quote me right that the politicians in British politics, all of them are lawyers.
Oh, yeah, most of them are lawyers.
Call it 95% of them are lawyers.
Yeah.
That's why, even though in German, the chancellor of this country, she's also a lawyer.
Yeah.
So if somebody is a lawyer, I believe he knows his right and know what he's supposed to do.
I get your point. Yes.
Now, as we want to push, as you are preaching, we're pushing Biafran activists into power. Are we going to look towards the ones that know their right, or people like me that doesn't know his right?
My brother, problem with Biafran activism is that every person says he knows it. That's the problem with Nigerian Biafra. Every Biafra says he knows it. Haven't you heard they said if you boycott the election, the United Nations will give you referendum?
No,
Didn't you hear people?
United Nations doesn't have the mandate to take such a decision. That one I know it very well.
But that's what they were told, and they believe it. So now Biafrans are, I don't know, I don't really know how to describe them. Let me not use a bad word, but it's pitiable really that they can be so easily deceived, manipulated, and they just follow like fools. They just follow their whoever is leading them, whoever is using manipulative words, and they follow. So the thing is that we need people who are intelligent. We need people who are wise. If a fool rules over fools, their foolishness will be compound foolishness. It's not good for those who have eyes to allow a blind man to lead them. You know, if the blind lead the blind, both will fall into the pit, right? It's natural and it's acceptable. It's acceptable. But if the blind is leading those who have eyes, and those who have eyes allow the blind to lead them into a hole, then they have no excuse because they have eyes and they allow the blind man to lead them.
But barrister, must the one with eyes lead? Why can't they be around and control the one with wisdom but has no eyes for the system to work? All of them to work.
I guess your question is, suppose those who have eyes, they are not lead, but they will now surround the person that is blind and guide him, all right?
Yeah.
Fine. Let us come to that level. All of us cannot be as wise as, who? Was it Solomon that was used? That was before the coming of Christ. Solomon was used as the wisest man, right? Okay, all of us are not gifted with the same level of wisdom. I agree. But one thing I know is that every human being on earth has one talent, at least. Every normal human being has at least one talent. If you discover where you are talented and you function in that area, that'd be good. But if you take a square peg to put in a round hole, it will not fit. All right? So not all of us are called to be governors or to be administrators. Not all of us. Not all of us are called to be doctors or lawyers. Not all of us. People have different callings in life. I said that Biafran activism, a Biafran project, is in 3 phases. Phase 1 is the awareness creation. And people who can do this work are those who have that fluency in talking, in media work, you know, advertisement, and sensitizing the whole world for the Biafran cause. And we know that some people have achieved that. They are so good. They have spoken with such oratorical power and such sensitization power that they were able to gather the whole world to listen to them about Biafra. Right now, Biafra has been preached to all parts of the world. The people who have done this, who started this race, in fact, it is the Ministry of Rafu Wazirike Masop that started the sensitization of Biafran cause. Nnamdi kind of continued from where Wazirike stopped. But I still give them the credit, still the same ministry of Wazirike, because Nnamdi was his son, his boy or his son. So it's like he completing what Wazirike started. Now they have done a marvelous job by creating awareness all over the world about Biafra independence. Now, they have done the perfect work. They have done it. We give them credit for it. Raf Wazirike and Nnamdi Kanu, we give them credit for it. They have advertised Biafra to the whole world. I remember in 2006 or what, 2004 or 2006, when Wazirike did Sit at Home. Do you remember? Do you remember the Sit at Home that Wazirike ordered in 2000?
Yes.
I think around 2004, thereabout. The whole Nigeria was crippled, and the thing touched the whole world. I remember what happened that day. and the international community, they were calling telephones everywhere to Aso Rock. And much pressure was put on the president of Nigeria then. I remember my role, the role I played when I was the spokesman of Igbo lawyers. That was 2004 in Port Harcourt. So contacts were made to different political heavyweights in the international community. Eventually, pressure was brought to bear upon the government of Nigeria, and they released Owazirika and some other things happened. But that was when the whole world heard about Biafra. But along the line, the tempo died down.
Mm-hmm.
The tempo died down as if Biafra was being forgotten again. Then, when I came into the struggle and introduced the legal methodology and created this body known as Indigenous People of Biafra, and then filed a suit in Nigeria, between Biafra and Nigeria, Indigenous People of Biafra against Nigerian government, in which we sued in a representative capacity by the human rights organization called Bilie Human Rights Initiative. I hope you understand.
Mm-hmm.
Because Biafra is not yet a legal entity, therefore you can only sue or be sued in a representative capacity.
Barrister, a call is coming in. Should we take the call?
Let me just round up. So now Nnamdi now came in to join us, and now God used him to now move the struggle forward. That is, advertise Biafra to the whole world more than Owazirika did. So we give them credit for that. Yes, you can take the call.
Okay. Hello, the call on the line. Can you hear me? Hello, the caller on the line. Can you hear me? Are you there? Sorry, Barrister.
Yes.
I couldn't hear him.
Hello?
Yes, I didn't hear him.
Yeah, I didn't hear what you said.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Yes, I said the caller on the line. I didn't hear him. Couldn't hear his voice.
Okay.
So
All right,
go ahead, sir.
So what I'm saying that we must give credit to Owazirika, Ralph Owazirika, and Nnamdi Kanu, who now completed Biafra project phase 1. Phase 1 is creating awareness, and we have done that.
Mm-hmm.
Phase 2 now means building the Biafran structure. Build it. We have created awareness.
Yes.
We can't continue awareness. Now, awareness has been created. We can't continue protesting on the streets. That has been achieved. Next thing is building the Biafran structure now. And that's what we are doing now. And I want people who are listening to me to join us now. And let us build Biafra.
Okay. Do you think that this thing will be an easy task, Barrister?
Well, if we receive support, it's very easy. If we have support from all the Biafrans who are willing to have Biafra independence, if we receive your support, I give you 36 months to achieve it. Did you hear me properly?
36 months.
36 months to achieve this. If we receive support, 36 months we'll achieve this thing. We'll create Biafra within Nigeria within 36 months if we receive support.
But that won't be independent. That will be a de facto government.
That's why I'm not talking about pulling out from Nigeria yet. You don't seem to understand. Listen,
I understand you. I understand.
There are 3 phases. First is creation of awareness, which has been done. Second is building Biafra as a nation within Nigeria, governing itself within Nigeria, not breaking away yet. That is phase 2. We're not breaking away yet, because you need to organize yourself now before you pull out.
Let me ask you something, Barrister. Are you also prepared if you get any pushback from Nigerian federal government on this issue?
Pushback how?
To block you not to establish such thing?
It's not possible. They cannot block me. I'm working within the law.
Yeah.
I'm talking about governing ourselves within Nigeria. We're not pulling out yet.
Do Nigeria has
So what
law?
is wrong with that? What is wrong with a father, that the head of a family, gathering his children together?
Yeah, but Barrister, we all know that Nigeria never respect their law. Look at the constitution that is running as a federal. Okay,
fine. Try me, because the right person has not been there. Try me now, see what I will do. Try me. Give me support. Just give me support and see what will happen.
Okay.
Yeah, because none of you is supporting me. That's why you don't seem to understand. Give me support now. Already we filed. I've served notice on Asorok. I served notice on Asorok. Served on United Nations. Served on Asorok. Asorok is now expecting me to take the next step. But who is supporting?
But you served something. Won't you get any response from them?
Now, when you serve a notice to your opponent, at the expiration of that notice, your opponent wants you to take the next step. That is how it's done. For instance, if you serve quick notice on your tenant, at the expiration of that quick notice, what the tenant is expecting you to do the next thing, is it not?
Mm-hmm.
So are you expecting tenant to come and do what? When you serve the notice, what do you expect the tenant to do?
Okay. According to the condition of Nigeria today, do you think that you can take any other step forward?
Yes. If I get support, you will see what will happen.
If you are mentioning support, what do you mean by support?
This thing requires money. It requires logistics. It requires a lot of things.
Like example,
a lot of things are required.
Example, what do you think that may push you to take the next step? Like how much?
There are certain documentations to be made. There are certain processes to be filed. There are certain things to be done. I have to move. It requires logistics.
Because you said that if you get support and the people listening to you should know exactly, from example, estimate of support that may. Okay.
If you're talking about estimate, when you're starting a journey, you don't know where it will end. You don't know how long. I mean, what some unforeseen circumstances. So in a situation like this, it's difficult to say estimate of how much. But if someone is moving now to activate the second, that's the next step now. At least you go to Nigeria, you go to the visit Nigeria, file certain processes in certain departments, certain offices, and then you keep the ball rolling. Or definitely it will cost you some money, you know. But if you don't say how much, those of you traveling maybe from Germany to Nigeria, you know how much it costs.
Yes.
Traveling from London to Nigeria, you know how much it costs. So if you know that it costs money for me to fly, go to Abuja, file certain documents, go to certain departments, certain offices, you know that it costs money. So if you bring anything to help at least pay the ticket to fly there, it's something. But for me now to say, oh, it will cost so amount, I don't think it's the right way to estimate. But at least you know that it costs money to even flight ticket costs money.
Okay. For example, now what you are trying to fight is for the liberation of your people.
Yes.
And the last time we were talking about European Human Rights Court. This European Human Rights Court, don't you think that if we continue on those terms, that we still fall in, because they will try to know what caused Nigeria, what made Nigerian government to triple hard on their people, then the Biafran agitation will fall in. Don't you think that this same way would also help without we interacting with Nigeria directly?
No. When you go, no, there are certain things you file in Nigeria, and then the main case itself, the referendum activation, the notice it will eventually go to international court. It will go through West Africa, the West African court first, then and come over to Hague. So the notice we have served on Abuja now. Next step will be followed. Eventually, the case for referendum will not be decided in Nigeria. It will not be decided in Nigeria.
Okay.
It will not be decided by Nigerian courts.
But these African courts.
Of course, it comes under human rights law anyway, because self-determination is human rights.
Yes. And Nigeria are violating the human rights of the Eastern region people. Well,
you have to go to court and prove it that they are violating it.
Are they not killing?
You have not proved it in court that they killed you.
But me and you knows that Nigerian government are killing our youth back home.
Well, you have not proved it in court, have you?
We have to accept it first of all. We are not in court of law.
We know they have done that, but you have not proved it. We know they have done that, but have you proved it?
But have you proved it? I tender it before our people that we need every support that we can get to take them to International Human Rights Court. And many of them are responding.
Oh, that's very fine. That's very good. If they are responding, that's very good. So yes, eventually the referendum suit will start up, but it will not be in Nigerian High Court. It will not be in Nigeria. You know? So
okay. If you say so. Is there another thing that you like to chip in, Barrister? Because it's already 1 hour something.
Okay. All I'm saying is that everything has a process, and Biafra independence will not be different. We have achieved the first thing, and that is awareness creation. We have achieved that. Next thing is building Biafra structure. We have just lost an opportunity. We lost an opportunity. You know, Nnamdi was able to sensitize multitude of people, millions of people. These millions of people, if they had been harnessed into a power to take over a state government, would have now been happy to hang the Biafran flag on the state house. You know, but we have lost that. We have lost that opportunity. We've lost that opportunity.
Barrister, as you just mentioned on Nnamdi, I would like to chip in before we close. What the Nigerian government did in his place, and the lawyers in Nigeria are now demanding the military chief to provide Nnamdi, and he's saying that Nnamdi is not in their custody. As a lawyer, don't you think that it's the people that attacked his house before he got missing that should provide him?
My brother, I have nothing to say about this. If Nnamdi Kanu's lawyers say Ami should provide him, Ami said they don't have him. Who am I? Do I know who is holding him? I don't know now.
I said as a lawyer, if he is your client and he was in his place as we are talking now, and for example now military attacked this place where I'm sitting now, you will also ask the military, you are the last person that moved to that area before he got missing.
Fine. And the military said yes, even though I don't know whether the military said they entered or they did not enter. I'm hearing that they said they didn't attack, whilst them said they attacked.
But dead bodies were flying up and down, the birds are flying up and down. I don't think that Nnamdi Kanu will kill the people around his compound to put it in military's head.
Well, what I'm saying is this. What I'm saying is that the military denied. They said he's not in their custody. Now he said, as a lawyer, I must say that they are the ones holding him. How will I say? Did I see them taking him? It's only when you see someone take him, then you can say, yes, I saw when you took him. But I didn't see when they took him now.
I feel you, my barrister. I feel you. Thank you very much, my people. Thank you, barrister, for joining for today. I think we'll call it a day till next weekend, my people. Barrister, thank you very much for giving us this time today. My people, this show will be coming up once a week due to the activities within the days, normal days. It will be Saturdays this time around. Please, if you have questions or if you have something you would like us to discuss, you may chip it in writing or by calling in or send it by WhatsApp. God bless you as you just give us this time or give us your ear.
Thank you.
So
thank you very
God
much.
bless all of you. Bless the Biafran people. Remain blessed, and Barrister, God will guide you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And guide all the Biafrans and I. Bye-bye for now.
Amen. Bye. Every person, bye for now. Bye.